Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Executive Interview Series. Today, I'm thrilled to be interviewing JD, co-founder and sales director of Sales Director Central, a sales leadership for tech businesses that want to change the world. Thank you for joining me today, JD.
Pleasure being here. Thank you for the invite.
Very exciting. Now, to kick off the interview today, can you give us a high-level overview of your business and the services that you offer?
Sure. Yeah, no problems at all. Sales Director Central's mission is to use the power of sales to unleash the superpower of those crazy enough to change the world. So most founders, when you say it, most founders, they smile. Most founders are crazy enough to think they can change the world. They've gone and crafted, found a problem in the marketplace, something that hasn't been addressed. They've created a product, a service, or an offering to solve that problem. And then they go and, having crafted the solution for that, they then go and try and tell anybody and everybody about it. And I'm not sure if you've ever seen the movie A Field of Dreams, but in it, Kevin Costner says, "Build it, they will come." Founders have built it, and then they're challenged with "they will come." And in fact, Kevin Costner is wrong, because "build it and they will come" doesn't work, and we believe we have the answer for that problem.
Amazing. Now, let's dive deeper into it. So, I was reading through your company details. So, it would be great for our audience if you could help explain, like, how does the PAMIS sales framework work, and what sets it apart from other sales frameworks that we see?
Okay. So, let me just sort of step back a little bit and talk about framework compared to a methodology, compared to a process. So, a sales process is, you've done discovery, you're going to do a presentation, a proposal moves to close. It's a 5-step, 7-step process. The sales methodology, which is part of our framework, is looking at customer data to look at gaps in what we know or don't know about an organisation. The sales framework is what PAMIS is. And we believe there's actually not many sales frameworks in the marketplace, certainly not to address the scale-up market. So a sales framework is a structured approach to creating both predictable and sustainable revenue. So what is our framework? PAMIS, as you mentioned. So the elements of PAMIS are planning, accountability, methodology, so that M is part of it, indicators, cadence, and execution. And what we know with frameworks is they typically make a function more efficient or more productive. So finance has a framework of debits and credits. Product development has a framework with a variety of different mechanisms to make sure that the product is done right. Implementation typically has a framework. Project management has a framework. And most businesses have absolutely no framework for sales, so we've solved that. So PAMIS provides a mechanism to help companies scale and grow.
Brilliant. Now, it would be great if you could also share with us any specific results that you've been able to achieve for your clients.
Yeah, thanks for that. So the results we achieve, when you combine both the framework I just mentioned, our mentors, and the client's ability to execute, so that 3 is a very heady cocktail for revenue. So that's our magic formula. We have had results like we've doubled, tripled, and quadrupled the revenue of our clients. We've had some amazing outcomes. One particular client engaged us, they thought, for 3 months. We doubled their revenue in the first year. We then doubled their revenue in the second year and the third year. So they went from 700,000 annual recurring revenue, which is around about our target market in that space. Last year they did 2.9 million. And this year they're going to do over $5 million. So there's been a variety of outcomes we've had similar to that. What we're super proud about is 4 of our clients in 18 months have got to an exit. So we don't work on exits with clients, but because we've got the revenue and we're a safe pair of hands, have been able to go out and get capital, and in that process, someone's taken them out. So super proud of those outcomes with the clients.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for sharing that with our audience as well, JD. Now, it would be great if you could share your thoughts with how can a tech startup actually benefit from bringing on a fractional sales leader from Sales Director Central? Any thoughts you have on that?
Right. So you mentioned a point I was going to make. So we provide what we call fractional sales leadership. It's a term that is a lot more popular in the US and the UK. We believe we're one of the first organisations to coin that here. So what is a fractional sales leader? And then I'll get the results. Rather than go and get ahead of sales, which a lot of organisations do, which is someone that gets paid somewhere between $300,000, $400,000, or even $500,000, a fractional sales leader, someone who comes into your business between 1 and 2 days a month for less than $65,000, puts a framework in place and makes sure that you create predictable and scalable and sustainable outcomes. So the fractional sales leadership enables that piece. In terms of results, we've talked about revenue, and all our clients have experienced increase of revenue, but there's two other really key components. One is that most founders, the thing that they're worried or really concerned about is the sales bit. They've got the product bit right, they've got the implementation bit, they've got the right team, so that they've ticked a whole bunch of boxes. The one thing they haven't yet ticked is the revenue piece. So we provide them the assurance, sometimes we call it a safe pair of hands. So we're the ability for them to relax because of the framework and the processes that we run. What that means is, for a lot of clients, a lot of companies are talking to anybody and everybody. They've created this product and build it, they will come. Typically, when we engage with an organisation, over a third of their pipeline is people who will never buy from them. So part of our framework enables you to understand who are the people that have to buy, who are the people that might buy, and who are the people that are never going to buy. So it's what parts of the outcome of being able to better predict and scale revenue, but also figure out who the people you don't want to spend time with.
Absolutely. Now, for my next question, JD, it would be great if you could share with us any partnerships or collaborations that you currently have or you're looking to establish in the near future.
Yeah, thanks. We have a number of partnerships with organisations. Again, if you think about the founders, most founders need to hire salespeople. We have recruiters, do marketing activities, do outbound lead generation, get capital, have investors come in, have people come in from a board position. So we have that ecosystem that we apply to clients. But I guess I really specifically wanted to hone in on investors. When we get engaged by a founder, we come and do what we call a blueprint, which is a document that says, here are the insights, here are things you're not doing well, here are things you're doing well, and here are the recommendations on what to change. We also have a benchmark tool. And the benchmark tool looks at 46 elements of the sales function, rates it out of 10. So it's a snapshot of where your sales team or the revenue team in your organisation is at right now. If you take that same tool and give it to an investor, it enables them, from a partnership perspective, to do better due diligence or DD from a sales perspective. So most investors look at somewhere between 4 and 7 elements in order to make a decision about whether they invest or not. We look at a far deeper level. Like I said, 46 elements. We give them a snapshot and give it to them. So we're really interested at improving and increasing the amount of investors that we have that utilise us for facilitating some due diligence processes for either their portfolio businesses or organisations they're looking at quite seriously.
Brilliant. Now, as a parting question, JD, it would be great if you could specify any specific industries or types of tech companies that you have the most experience working with.
Right. Okay. We've worked with a number of different industries. Tech is a really big focus for us, and there's a really significant reason for that. We help people sell a complex product to an infrequent buyer. So a complex product typically is the SaaS product, but it could be any service, any offering that there's a layer of complexity to it. If you unpack an infrequent buyer, typically, an infrequent buyer runs a cost center in most businesses. They run finance, IT, marketing, procurement, legal, they invariably run a cost center. So that's not true all the time, but invariably they run a cost center. Most of them, because of the role they have, are unfamiliar with going and getting capital to spend money on a particular project. So if you think about a complex product and infrequent buyer, that means we cross lots of different segments, but it's super relevant to the tech marketplace and the tech industry. So the bulk of our clients sit in that general category. And then within that, there's a whole bunch of tech sectors that we play with. If I was to tell you about the companies that I'm working with personally as a mentor within our business, there are 6 different businesses. I'm not a domain expert in any of them. So what we bring to the table is the framework and the ability to execute rather than domain expertise.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, AD, for coming on for this interview and sharing such wonderful insights about the work that you and your team are doing at Sales Director Central. We really appreciate it. For our listeners, if you would like to get in touch with the team at Sales Director Central, please see the details on your screen or in the description. JD, thanks again, and I wish you all the luck with your venture moving forward.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure chatting to you.
Thank you.